The screen fades in on a desolate Manhattan skyline. A thick fog clings to the shattered buildings, and the faint sounds of moaning undead echo through the streets. The camera pans downward, revealing Maggie, Lauren Cohen, and Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, standing on a crumbling rooftop. Their expressions are grim, their faces hardened by the weight of survival. Voiceover: Maggie, Dead City is a cage. It traps us, it changes us, but maybe, just maybe, it can save us too. The trailer cuts to a series of rapid scenes. Maggie leading a group of survivors through the shadowy ruins of Times Square, armed to the teeth. Negan, grinning darkly, igniting a Molotov cocktail and hurling it at a horde of walkers. A group of heavily armored strangers emerging from a fortified base. Their leader, a mysterious woman with a scarred face, staring coldly into the camera. Voiceover: Negan, when the living are worse than the dead, you gotta ask yourself, who's worth saving? The tension rises as dramatic music swells. Quick cuts. A child's voice whispering, "Help me," over a crackling radio. Maggie holding a bloody map, her hands shaking. A massive horde of walkers flooding the Lincoln Tunnel. Negan in a brutal fistfight with one of the armored strangers. New character introduction. The screen flashes to a dimly lit laboratory. A scientist, played by a new cast member, examines a vial of glowing green liquid. Scientist: we've found a way to control them, but at what cost? The camera reveals a terrifying experiment, a walker strapped to a table, its glowing eyes flickering with some semblance of intelligence. Final montage. The trailer builds to a crescendo. Maggie and Negan arguing, their voices drowned by the roar of an approaching explosion. The mysterious leader confronting Maggie, "You think you can take this city back? It belongs to the dead now." The walkers evolving, faster, stronger, more terrifying. Ending scene. Negan stands alone in a burning alleyway, Lucille 2.0 in hand, looking straight into the camera. Negan, smirking, "New York ain't dead yet, neither am I." The screen cuts to black. Text on screen: The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 2, coming 2025. Final sound: the guttural growl of an approaching walker fades into silence. The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 2 Storyline Part 1. Season 2 picks up immediately after the explosive events of Season 1. The tenuous alliance between Maggie and Negan is put to the test as they delve deeper into Dead City, uncovering layers of its horrifying truth. Episode 1, The Bridge. The season opens with Maggie and Negan leading their group through the Lincoln Tunnel, now infested with a faster, more aggressive type of walker. The air is thick with dread as they navigate collapsing infrastructure, the echoes of guttural growls haunting every step. Maggie's mission to locate the mysterious child who reached out on the radio drives her forward, but tension between her and Negan grows. His willingness to take risks for the group clashes with her focus on the mission. In a chilling twist, they discover a trap set by the armored faction, the Vanguard. These survivors have turned parts of the city into laboratories, experimenting on walkers in a bid to control them. But the experiments have unleashed something far worse, a strain of walkers that hunt in coordinated packs. Episode 2, Signals in the Fog. The group encounters the Vanguard's scarred leader, Elena Kane, a woman who sees humanity as a failed experiment. Her goal: to harness the evolved walkers as weapons to control what remains of the city. Maggie and Negan clash with her ideology, but she presents a hard choice: join her, or be consumed by the chaos. Meanwhile, Maggie grows increasingly haunted by memories of her son, Herschel, whose fate remains uncertain. Negan, on the other hand, forms a surprising bond with a young scientist, Sammy, who secretly opposes Elena and wants to escape with critical research that could save lives. Episode 3, Divide and Conquer. Maggie and Negan's group splinters. Maggie refuses to let go of her mission to find the mysterious child, while Negan reluctantly aligns with Sammy to sabotage the Vanguard's experiments. A harrowing chase through Central Park pits them against a pack of evolved walkers, sleek, terrifying, and nearly silent in their pursuit. The episode ends with a shocking reveal: the child Maggie has been searching for is being used as a test subject in the Vanguard's experiments. Season themes: evolving threats. Walkers that adapt and act in unison pose a challenge unlike anything survivors have faced. Moral dilemmas: how far will Maggie and Negan go to protect the few remaining survivors, and at what cost? Past versus present. Maggie struggles with her role as a leader, haunted by the trauma of her past, while Negan faces the consequences of his redemption arc. Shadows of the Vanguard. Maggie and Negan infiltrate the Vanguard's stronghold, an abandoned skyscraper fortified with traps and makeshift laboratories. The child Maggie has been searching for is revealed to be Mia, a girl no older than 10, whose immunity to the Walker virus has made her a key subject of the Vanguard's experiments. Elena Kane tightens her grip on the city, unleashing a newly bred horde of walkers that are faster, smarter, and capable of bypassing even the best defenses. Key scenes. Maggie struggles with guilt and anger as she faces Elena's cold pragmatism. Negan, in a moment of vulnerability, bonds with Mia, revealing glimpses of the man he once was before the apocalypse. Tensions reach a boiling point as Maggie and Negan debate whether to rescue Mia and abandon the city or stay and fight Elena. Episode 5, Hunter and Prey. As Maggie and Negan prepare to escape with Mia, the Vanguard sends its deadliest team after them. The group is forced into the subway tunnels beneath Manhattan, where the evolving walkers are just as much a threat as the relentless hunters chasing them. The cramped, suffocating darkness of the tunnels becomes a stage for brutal close-quarters combat. Negan's ingenuity and Maggie's determination keep the group alive, but at a cost. They lose key allies in the process. Themes of the episode. The blurred line between humanity and monstrosity. Sacrifices for the greater good and how they weigh on the survivors. Episode 6, Echoes of the Past. While hiding in the ruins of a pre-apocalypse shelter, Maggie discovers records of earlier experiments that hint at a darker truth. The Vanguard wasn't the first group to manipulate the virus. The records reveal that parts of Dead City have been used for experiments long before the outbreak became global, suggesting the epidemic may have been orchestrated. Negan pushes Maggie to let go of her quest for answers and focus on survival, but her discovery reignites her drive to stop the Vanguard at all costs. Meanwhile, Mia begins to exhibit strange symptoms, leaving the group questioning if they've truly saved her, or brought another danger with them. Ending scene. The group emerges from the tunnels into a devastated Times Square. Maggie stares at the shattered billboards, now overtaken by walkers, as Elena's voice echoes over a city-wide speaker system. Run all you like, Dead City belongs to me, and soon, it'll belong to them. Betrayal in the shadows. As Maggie, Negan, and their group navigate through the remnants of Times Square, tensions run high. Samir, the young scientist who has been aiding them, reveals a chilling truth. The experiments on Mia have altered her biology. She might not only be immune to the virus but also a carrier of the mutation that the Vanguard is weaponizing. Maggie becomes torn between protecting Mia and the possibility that she could unleash a new threat. Negan, ever the pragmatist, suggests they confront Elena directly and end the experiments once and for all. Key scenes. The group finds brief refuge in an old broadcast station, where they send out a desperate call for reinforcements. A mutiny brews within the group as one survivor argues for leaving Mia behind. Elena's soldiers ambush the group, leading to a high-stakes firefight amid the rubble. Climactic moment. Maggie discovers that Samir has been secretly communicating with Elena, promising to deliver Mia in exchange for safe passage out of the city. The betrayal fractures the group, forcing Maggie to make a harrowing decision: trust Samir for the greater good or end his life to ensure Mia's safety. Episode 8, The Siege. With the Vanguard closing in, the group retreats to the crumbling remains of the Chrysler Building. Using the high ground to their advantage, they prepare for a last stand. Themes of the episode. Survival versus sacrifice. Maggie wrestles with her role as leader, questioning whether the fight for Dead City is worth the lives of her people. Redemption. Negan takes charge of defending the group, proving his loyalty in ways no one expected. Key scenes. Maggie and Negan share a rare moment of vulnerability, reflecting on the people they've lost and the lives they're trying to protect. Elena's soldiers unleash a new wave of mutated walkers, faster and more aggressive than before, forcing the group into a desperate battle. Mia displays an uncanny ability to sense and predict the movements of the mutated walkers, hinting at a deeper connection to the virus. Ending scene. As the group fends off the attackers, a massive explosion rocks the building. Maggie and Negan are separated in the chaos, with Maggie left clinging to Mia and Negan trapped in the lower levels with the walkers closing in. The Heart of Dead City. The penultimate episode sees Maggie confronting Elena in the Vanguard's main laboratory. The truth is finally revealed. Elena wasn't just experimenting on the walkers but was attempting to create a hybrid species, a new kind of being that could adapt and thrive in the post-apocalyptic world. Key moments. Maggie faces a moral dilemma: destroy the lab and risk losing Mia's immunity research, or take the data and risk the Vanguard continuing their experiments elsewhere. Negan fights his way out of the collapsing Chrysler building, taking down mutated walkers in a brutal, high-stakes sequence. Mia begins to exhibit strange, supernatural strength, leaving the group to question whether she is still fully human. Episode 10, No Turning Back, Finale. In the season finale, the survivors make their final stand against the Vanguard. Maggie leads the group in a daring assault on Elena's main compound, using everything they've learned about the walkers to turn the tide. Climactic events. Negan sacrifices himself to hold off a wave of mutated walkers, delivering a heartfelt farewell to Maggie: "Take care of the kid, and don't let this city win." Maggie uses the research to create a makeshift cure, potentially halting the evolution of the walkers, but at the cost of Mia's life. The group destroys the Vanguard's compound in a massive explosion, taking Elena and her army down with it. Ending scene: Maggie, bloodied and broken, stands on the edge of the city as the sun rises over the devastated skyline. She whispers, "For them, we keep going." The camera pans to reveal that some of the mutated walkers are still alive, hinting at an even greater threat looming on the horizon. Text on screen: The Walking Dead, Dead City will return. A glimmer of hope. As the final moments of Season 2 unfold, Maggie and the remaining survivors regroup in a small safe zone outside the city. The aftermath of their battle with the Vanguard has left them scarred but determined. Key epilogue moments. Maggie reflects, sitting by a fire. Maggie writes in a tattered journal. Her words echo as a voiceover: "The dead don't stop, and neither can we. The city may be lost, but humanity still has a chance." Negan's legacy. The camera lingers on a battered Lucille 2.0, left behind in the rubble of Dead City, a haunting reminder of Negan's sacrifice. A new threat emerges. In the shadows of a distant forest, a survivor approaches a heavily armed caravan. The leader steps out, revealing a tattoo of a strange symbol, the same one seen in the Vanguard's lab. "We heard the city burned," the stranger says, "but what you unleashed is spreading." The infection spreads. Season 3 will move beyond Dead City and expand the scope of the story. The survivors discover that the Vanguard's experiments have left lasting effects on the virus, creating zones of mutation where walkers are faster, stronger, and smarter. These areas are spreading outward from the city, threatening to engulf nearby settlements. Key plot threads for Season 3. Maggie's new mission. With Negan gone, Maggie takes on the mantle of leadership. She's determined to stop the spread of the mutation and ensure Mia's sacrifice wasn't in vain. The Vanguard's remnants, survivors loyal to Elena Kane, armed with her research, regroup under a new, more ruthless leader. Their goal: finish what Elena started. The hybrid walkers, the mutated walkers, evolve further, displaying disturbing signs of intelligence and communication. Some survivors whisper rumors of a hive mind controlling them. A new survivor group, the Caravan introduced in the epilogue, becomes a key player in Season 3. They offer technology and resources but harbor a dark secret tied to the origins of the virus. Opening scene for Season 3. The season begins with a haunting shot of a rural town just outside Dead City. The streets are eerily quiet, with a soft fog rolling in. A lone walker stands in the center of the street, unmoving. Suddenly, its head snaps to the side, as if hearing something. Moments later, dozens more walkers emerge from the mist, all moving with terrifying precision. The camera pans to reveal Maggie and her group arriving in the town, their expressions grim. Maggie mutters, "This isn't over, not even close."